can you tell us a little bit about how this idea came about?
Yeah, so Life Underground is a web documentary. It's interactive, and it's a journey around subways around the world. It's around 15 cities in the world for now and more. And along the way, while we travel around these subways, we meet passengers, random passengers, and they tell us a very personal story, something very intimate about love, migration, relationship, and so we hear their voice. It's really like you look at someone and you listen to their interior voice, and that's the concept of the project.
Can you tell us where you were inspired to really tell this story and kind of how you found out about the 12?
Sure. Well, this is not our first film making, or this is not our first film about policing in New York. Actually, Ross and I had worked on this issue over the last 7 years, and we basically wanted to make a film that would make visible something that we had been reporting on, doing visual journalism pieces on, but the public had actually not ever been able to see them for themselves. And so after several years of relationship building, we were in a position where these guys actually wanted to share their story very transparently. And so that started a whole nother fourth, fifth project for us, which became Crime and Punishment.
So can you tell us a little bit about your film and how the idea came about to tell the story?
So my name is Robert Green. I'm the director of Visby 17, which is a film about 100 years ago in Visby, Arizona, which is a bordered town, an old copper mining town. 1,200 striking miners were deported out of town violently, and we went back for the 100th anniversary and recreated with the locals today, some of them with legacies that directly link to the deportation, the event in town. So it was this weird performance piece, Western musical, crazy thing. And tonight we've won an award because Keegan's score is so amazing. So we won an award for Best Musical Score. It's good to be on the red carpet and already know that you've won an award. That's fun.
How it was to be a director and in this film as well?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really plan to be in the film when I first started, and in fact, the last scene that you see in the film of the storyline of one of the characters when he moves outside of the city where the film takes place was before I started becoming a character in the film in terms of the production. So it was sort of in hindsight that I did that. So in reality, the way that we did it was that putting myself in the film was more of a post-production process, was an afterthought.
Can you tell us a little bit about your film?
It's a series called The Trade. It's about the opioid epidemic, and we followed cartel members, law enforcement addicts, and look at the sort of cyclical nature of this epidemic.
Can you guys tell us a little bit about why it was so important for you to tell this story about our military service and our veterans?
Well, I think the most critical reason for telling these stories is because, for the most part, we don't hear them. We hear too often, particularly now, our vets used as political tools, as tools to divide us. We hear them exploited around campaigns. We hear all of the political rhetoric, but we don't hear from them, and we don't hear of solutions to what are generational problems for them. Homelessness, disproportionate suicide rates. And the only way that we're going to be able to cut through the noise and really understand what the needs are for them, for our vets, for these people trying to come back and reintegrate into American society, is to hear from them above the nonsense.
Can you guys tell us a little bit about your project? What brings you here to the Documentary Awards?
Yeah, we're here. We're one of the short form nominees. We're the one that no one has heard of. So if you open your program, there's something called Mel Films. We're up against HBO, Vice, The Guardian, New York Times. So clearly we're going to win tonight.